Welcome to Syntax. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Frontend Happy Hour podcast.
Welcome to this week's JS party.
Live from Shipshape Studios, this is Whiskey, Web, and Whatnot, with your hosts, Robbie the Wagner and me, Charles William Carpenter III.
That's right, Charles. We drink whiskey and talk about web development. I mean, it's all in the name. It's not that deep.
This is Whiskey, Web, and Whatnot. Do not adjust your set.
Whiskey, Web, and Whatnot is brought to you by...
Code reviews are critical but time-consuming. CodeRabbit acts as your AI co-pilot, providing instant code review comments and potential impacts of every pull request. Beyond just flagging issues, CodeRabbit provides one-click fix suggestions and lets you define custom code quality rules using AST grep patterns. This catches subtle issues that traditional static analysis tools might miss. CodeRabbit is the category-defining platform for AI code reviews. Built for modern engineering teams navigating the rise of AI-generated development, CodeRabbit's context-aware reviews pull in dozens of points of context, making them the most comprehensive AI code reviews. With customization features that allow you to tailor your review to your code base, CodeRabbit's comments improve with time and interactions. CodeRabbit helps organizations catch bugs, strengthen security, and ship reliable code at speed. Trusted by thousands of companies and open source projects worldwide, CodeRabbit helps reduce review time and bugs by 50%.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Whiskey, Web, and Whatnot with your hosts, Robbie the Wagner and Adam Thomas Argyle, the nerd.
I'm here, y'all. What's up?
We are all here. We have a guest here. Would you like to tell the folks who we have here, Adam?
Oh, yes, I would. Today we have senior developer advocate at Auth, Zero, egghead instructor of so many lessons the site had to show pagination, K-pop Demon Hunters karaoke track ripper, rad dad, and killer web developer. Welcome, Will Johnson.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here. I got my Jameson.
Nice.
Me three.
Nice.
The triple. Hey, three people on the show with three triple triples. Yeah, it's time to crack it open.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, to get that pop. I'm kind of surprised this is twist. Does Jameson usually twist?
I don't know.
Maybe they're just precise like that. So yeah, this is the triple triple. It is called that because it is triple distilled in triple casks of bourbon, sherry, and chestnut casks. It is something proof, 80 proof. And it is 80% corn and 20% malted barley from what I hear, and 4 years old, I believe.
They should have gone with three. Then it's a triple.
Oh,
three.
I see.
Know.
Yeah, to keep the triple going.
Yep.
Yeah.
Three's good
Or
number.
9 if you're triple, 3 times 3.
Triple. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Wait, 3 times 3 though. That's the really expensive one. The 27 years.
Ooh, this tastes different than I thought it would. Wow, that's got a lot going on.
It does. No bite. Lots of sweet.
Yeah, very true. No bite.
Yeah, not a ton of alcohol. Definitely a lot of different woods. A little sweetness from the sherry, I think. I don't know. Having a hard time picking out particular notes.
I've been really enjoying smelling an empty glass, because then I feel like I get this more true scent of what's in there. I don't know. This
So
is
the
good.
front
though. I like
says, we'll influence ourselves here. It says toffee, cacao, and toasted almond. Also, there is, okay, that's on the outside. There's a spider crawling on the outside of mine, and I was like, are you on the inside? How are you alive?
It's like that tequila that has snakes and scorpions inside. Have you seen those ones?
Yeah, those are nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
They was in like a lot of 90s movies. I thought I would experience that like a lot more than I did, but no, I haven't seen one in person, but they was always in 90s movies.
I haven't seen one in person either. I saw it in that TV show 3 Sheets to the Wind. Do y'all know that show?
Mm-mm.
It was this guy. It's actually very apropos for this show. This guy went around and drank beer around the world. Actually, it wasn't just beer. He just got hammered everywhere around the world. And so he would find the locals.
Nice.
And he'd be like,
Was it featuring Chuck?
What are you drinking? Yeah, it should have. But yeah, 3 Sheets is a reference to getting super drunk. And so he'd go to all these places, get hammered with the locals, drinking whatever they drink locally, whether it was like a local rum was the thing that they were known for, or if it was a whiskey that they were known for, or a beer. And so then the next morning, he would then have the local hangover remedy. So that was the whole episode, was you see him basically going from bar to bar and distillery to distillery, learning the history about why this place has this particular booze in this area, drinks a lot of the booze, never really like stumbles around and gets, ridiculous, whatever, and then wakes up. And but in one of those episodes, okay, sorry to bring it full circle, he drinks some of the rums that have snakes and stuff in them. And it just looked so gross. I was like, there's like a dead body in that thing. You're just going to pour it out and drink from the dead body juice? I'm like, that's death juice. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
It was a good show.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds interesting, especially the hangover cure part.
Yeah.
Oh,
very
yeah,
funny
yeah.
remedies. Yep.
Sorry, I was going to say we have a rating system for whiskey on this show. We'll do it real quick before we forget. 0 to 8 tentacles, 0 being the worst. Throw it out. Wouldn't clean your toilet with it. 8 being the best. Clear the shelves, drinking nothing else. 4 or 5-ish, middle of the road. What do you think, Adam?
I'm liking it. I'm also tasting a little bit more caramel as we go in. I also kind of feel like I tend to get a lot of caramel, but it's just from that like sweetness, a little sticky. That's good. This one is better than the Jack Daniel's Reserve from last week, which I gave quite a poor rating. I'm going to put this one at like a 5.5. I'm not sad. It's the lack of bite is good. It's got a nice smoothness to it, which is nice. Cool. So anyway, 5.5 out of me.
Nice. Will, what do you think?
Well, honestly, this is my first whiskey ever.
Get out of here.
What?
The fact that it is. So the fact that it didn't burn, like I can actually like just drink it and, kind of chill. I like that. So I'm going to give it a 7.
Nice.
But the bar is high.
I don't know if we've had a lot of Irish ones on the show. I think this one is a lot more interesting than a couple of Irish ones I've had. I'm going to say, we'll give it a 6. Pretty solid.
Nice.
Plus my son's name is Jameson, so.
I was just going to say, you got to tell the story of why we picked this one for you. This is not an accident. Awesome. Well, I guess you just let the cat out of the bag there, though, so that, can't create any suspense. Yes, it's your kid's name.
My bad.
Nice. That's okay.
All right. So we have some lukewarm takes that we usually do on the show. We'll start with a fan favorite, get rebase or get merge.
I know rebase get a lot of heat, but let's go rebase.
Nice.
I think you're in a rebase friendship zone right here. So
Okay.
I used to merge,
I'm in the
but
safe place.
now I rebase. Although at work it's called a restack. It's really annoying when you kind of go into these other environments that have Git workflows, but they want to rename everything. Man, it's annoying. It was at Chrome too. When you're working on Chrome, you didn't really get normal Git commands. Like everything was abstracted in some way. Shopify, we don't rebase. No one even says rebase. They stack. We restack, or I'm going to stack off your stacker. Anyway, I don't mind the word stack. It's kind of nice, but still, like, hey, rebase is the way.
Yeah, it at least makes a little sense. It's not like, yo, I'm on a pizza. Like, what?
Oh no, we lost a Will.
He didn't like my joke.
It's got to hang in there. He was losing connection a little bit, so maybe got disconnected. Or he did
This
what I
episode
always
is
do.
sponsored by Verizon Fios.
Sponsored by the sweet light fixture that I need behind me to illuminate all my stuff. Man,
Yes.
yours are cool. Do you have new? You've got like a
I changed the
octopus
colors.
back there now. Ah, nice.
Yeah, no, I'm standing up so you can see my shelf. Usually you can't.
Sick. Looks good.
Yeah, you can almost see the Ember sign. It's right there. It says Ember.
That one's
No
a
one will
little
ever
too
know.
blurry. Camera's too good. Can't read it. Live on Twitch, just you and I together.
Yeah, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like,
Dude, do you ever do the dad hand hip thing? I hate it. I do it all the time. I'm like, oh, my hands are on my hips. There's got to be a cooler place to put my hands, and it's not on my hips. And so I put them in my like jacket pocket. I'm like, yeah, I'm still cool. I'm still young. I'm not a dad. I don't put my
you
hands on
mean
my hips.
like the scolding pose, like
Yeah,
you know,
man.
like that.
Yeah, just kind of, I'll just walk and be like, what do you think you're doing? I'm like, oh, crap, I'm doing the thing. I got my hands on my
no.
hips. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't find myself doing that. Yeah, I usually go pockets. Depends on what I'm wearing, I guess, but I haven't had that issue.
Pockets is good. Oh, man, I had a fun parenting thing the other day where, like, they've been wrestling a lot more, right? I have, like, 2 boys, right? So they're, like, wrestling a bunch, and usually someone cries, and then they go, oh, we got a wheel back. Anyway, my kids were beating
That's
each
a weird
other
thing
up.
for your kids to say.
Yeah. I got a wheel back yet. They were beating each other up though, and they didn't want to get in trouble though. They'd been getting in trouble a lot for like hurting each other. So like now they hurt each other and they suck it up. And I was like, that's good though. I was like, yes, become stronger, my children. Wrestle and suck it up. Yes. So yeah, mom's out of town, so there's no one to cry to because dad usually goes, "Oh, you hurt yourselves wrestling." Yeah. I was like, that's what you do. I'm like, I'm not here for that. Like, anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, like, seeing things from the parent perspective, because it's like, I've been through this 100 times, and I know it's not that bad, but this is, like, your first time, and it's so serious. And I gotta be like, yeah, this is what happens when you wrestle. When you jump down 6 stairs, your leg's gonna hurt. Like, this is the process.
Yeah, I feel like it's tough because a lot of parents, you're on one side or the other usually. It's like, don't police it at all. Just let them get super hurt and they'll learn. Or like, you're trying to keep them from getting hurt, like from everything. And I don't know, there's not really a happy medium because if you protect them sometimes, then they don't understand what getting hurt is. And like, yeah, I mean, like our son is like, oh, a knife. Like, let me just grab that by the sharp part. And I'm like, why? Don't do that, please. Like, I just told you not to do that.
Yeah, you definitely got to
can't remember, Will. How old is your kid or your kids? Do you have 1 or 2? I can't remember.
My oldest is, oh, you're way off. I have 6. So my oldest is 19.
Whoa.
I am
my
off.
youngest is 8.
Dang.
Yeah, you're in it
you
on
need
all
to teach
sides.
us stuff. Okay, so yeah, I'm 7 and 9, and his are like all under 4, right?
Yeah, Finn is 3 and the twins are 7 months today.
Twins, cool. We wanted twins. Didn't happen, but.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's fun, but it's also a lot. Like, they're never calm at the same time. So.
All right, should we jump into more takes? What do you think?
Dealer's choice. Adam, you got one you want to do?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm partial to this one. I was reading an article the other day where someone said what I wanted them to. So, Will, this is a question for you to say what I want you to or to say what you want. You get to choose.
All right.
Is CSS a programming language?
Oh, man, that's a great question. Now, is it a programming language? It depends on, I guess it depends on how you're using it. Because there are some things that you can programmatically and mathematically do with CSS. But, if you're just, making a button round, I don't know. But if you're like making it change to how wide the page is and stuff like that, I feel like you are doing some programming there. So I guess it depends on what you're doing.
That answer rocked my face, man. I think that might be one of the best answers because you're right. If you're just changing the color to red, and, everyone feels successful. You're not necessarily a programmer, but you did write some code, I suppose. But if you're like legit writing loops and you're filtering over stuff and you're doing something very programmatic, you're using trig functions, well, you're definitely. So the article I read was a hacker. The hacker was like, hey, look at what I can do with CSS. CSS is one of the next best things that you can use than JavaScript to do your hacking. And they came up with this new hacking exploit using CSS and all this kind of interesting stuff. And they were quoted in the article as saying CSS is a programming language. Like, look at what you can do. But
yeah,
like
maybe that should be the measurement.
Awesome.
If you can exploit something and get into a system with it, it has to be a programming language.
Yeah, because that's pretty deep to do that with CSS.
Yeah, I would not have thought of that. Today, my wife was looking at Architectural Digest to look at a color of a wall. Like, there was a picture she had seen, and we load the page. All the pictures and like text come in for like a second and then go away because it's like, you got to pay for this. And I'm like, wait, so they're there and you remove them now? Like, you guys used to throw a like thing up over it. I could delete it. I was trying to find my way around all the stuff, but they like programmatically delete all the chunks of the page. They got like 25 little JavaScript scripts that like delete everything. And I'm like, holy shit, like this is some intense stuff, guys. Bravo.
That is intense. Yeah, that's like those read more buttons where it's like click the read more and then it just expands. I'm like, I'm going to do that myself.
Yeah.
But you're right. If they are deleting or it's not even there, it's a totally different story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was impressed.
What are you doing at Auth 0 right now, dude? And how long you been there?
Been at Auth 0 for like 4.5 years. I think I hit 4 back in August. So, yeah, I don't know, 4, 12, 5. It's like almost 4.5 years then. Been a good ride, just especially now I think I'm having the most fun just because of the changes, with AI becoming like more prevalent and, finding the ways to like, secure AI and tools that we use. Like one of what I've been into lately is like MCP security, because MCP, it just had its year birthday. I mean, there's been like a lot of changes with MCP and like how they do security, and they're like, still trying to figure it out. So it's been kind of cool, like watching like that whole, process of like, okay, we're going to do this. I don't think that's right. Let's, try to do something different. Like one thing is like a big thing for like a few months was like dynamic client registration, letting the MCP servers like register on their own. Then they was like, hold on, that's like way too free. And then every time, someone registers, it creates like a different instance, even though it might be the same person. So now they got like 2 different identities or 50, like however many they end up using. So like just recently the spec introduced something called CIMD, which is client ID metadata documents. And it's basically like a URL where you kind of like host your identity for your MCP server. And then it like validates if it actually belongs to this user. So it kind of like made it more secure, and then it didn't make a new one every single time you tried to like register an MCP client. So that's lately what I've been into, just checking out the MCP security stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I think that is there's a lot of security things that are going to come to light with AI that people are just like, oh, it's a paradise. We can just, get all this stuff for free and everyone can do everything. And yeah, that's bad when everyone can do everything, actually. There's a lot of security vulnerabilities to that.
It seems like you could charge a lot of money through an MCP server too. So that's why you gotta protect them. So a lot of people have tokens that you have to, so you go buy your token to give you even access to the MCP. So I'm sure a bunch of people are like, oh, I'm gonna get around your token. What are some of your favorite hacks that you've seen? Are there any funny ones where you're like, that have like a silly name, like the midget on your back hack? And it just is like, it's like a little midget AI that's on I don't know, I'm making that up, but I'm like, are there any funny hacks that have happened to MCP servers? Or what's up?
I mean, not that I haven't seen any funny ones, but I definitely seen some ones that made me like second guess like every like new tool that comes out. So I'm not going to name any names, but there are like lots of exploits where you'll like download a CLI and it'll somehow they even bypass the check that there's like that there's something like a, malware or something in it. It kind of like approves itself, and then it'll like run another program through your like AI agent in the CLI, and you literally won't have any idea because it deletes its history of like what it does and stuff like that. So I've seen some pretty intense ones, that cause a lot of like hiccups. So now when something new comes out, I'm definitely not the first person to jump on it, not even on like a personal machine. Like I'm waiting.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, anytime there's new stuff, I feel like everyone comes out of the woodwork to do that kind of thing. Like NFTs had that problem. Like, oh yeah, look, a contract, let me sign that. Oops. Like, yeah. So I think like, people are waiting for the new thing to have a little bit of hype and then like steal as much stuff as they can as fast as they can and get out of there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
So I've heard through the grapevine that MCP had its year, and that might be its limited set of 15 minutes of fame that it had, because skills are where it's at. Can skills also hack someone? Have you found any exploits through that mechanism? So
far, I haven't found any or heard of any, at least. And like I do look in quite a different like communities and for like, like cybersecurity and stuff like that, just to see what they're talking about. So far, I haven't seen any. But you never know what might happen as they like gain popularity. I think skills are like fairly new, like a month or two old. MCP is not necessarily old, but it's a year old and it's getting more hype. So more people are, it's becoming like an attack vector because more and more people are talking about it. More people are releasing servers. So if the same thing happened with skills, then, I might, start to see more traffic. But as of right now, I haven't seen anything going on with that.
Cool. Yeah. The only hack I saw was that if you dynamically create your skills, the skill that you created could be full of stuff that you didn't intend. And so then every time you use the skill, it's coming with all this context or all this personal information that you didn't think it would. And I don't know, submitting it somewhere. But interesting. So you're following all the MCP hacks. So did you see the Next.js news that came out? Is everybody freaking out to update their builds?
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, I actually wrote Well, I know that was a different blog post, but I wrote a blog post about the Next.js updates from like a couple months ago. But yeah, I did see the vulnerability that they had, and just make sure you update your packages, people.
Or
There's
don't
a lot
update.
of that going around.
I don't know. Which one's better, to update constantly or to not update
Yeah,
constantly?
exactly. Well, I think in this case, you might want to update. But yeah, I get what you're saying, because then you'll update and then something else goes wrong.
Yeah, always be updating. That's what I do. Just PM update. Every time you pull down the code, just update everything. That's fine.
That's what they want you to do, Robbie. They want you to keep updating.
Twitter will tell me if
Yeah,
there's
they
a
want
problem.
your
It's okay.
Updates. Yes, Twitter will tell you it's a problem several times.
So if your kids are that old, how is K-pop Demon Hunters so popular in your house? Are you the main driver of that?
No, I think it's all of us. I mean, the youngest is 8, and then we got teenagers. So I wouldn't say that I'm the
Yeah,
main
8
driver. I
sounds
think
right.
it's just like
Yeah.
it's just a whole thing. I think like, the music is good. It's funny, it's goofy. Yeah, I didn't expect my sons to like it as much as they do. Like them walking around singing Soda Pop or Your Idol or anything like that. I didn't expect that, but yeah, I think that is just, I don't know. It just for me personally, it hit a lot of like nostalgia notes. 2000s, you had like Britney Spears and like NSYNC, and then like the boy bands and like B2K and Chris Brown and like all of that stuff. So that was like my like era, like my heyday. So even like when they the Soldier Boys were formed in the street, I'm like, that's something somebody would have did in like 2002 or something. Like, so it just hit a lot of nostalgia beats for me.
It is really good. Robbie, have you seen it yet? K-pop Demon Hunters?
I have. Caitlin and I watched it because we wanted to see if we were going to let Finn watch it or not. It doesn't have anything that's like too bad, but there's just enough of like, I don't remember the exact wordage, but like, I'm gonna kill you, or like whatever. We're like, we don't want him being like, I'm gonna stab and kill things like they do with like the demons or whatever. So like, he already does that. I don't know where he got that from. Like,
Yeah,
we
you
never
can't stop
say
it, dude.
that.
Yeah, it's guns show up. You're like, I don't know where you learned about guns, but as soon as they just smell the concept of a gun, they're like, look at the power, and they just go around
Yeah.
imitating it. You're like, dang it.
This just in, Whiskey.fund is now open for all your merch needs. That's right, Robbie. We're hearing reports of hats, sweaters, and t-shirts, as well as a link to join our Discord server. What's a Discord server? Just read the prompter, man. Hit subscribe, leave us a review on your favorite podcast app, and tell your friends about our broadcast. It really does help us reach more people and keeps the show growing. All right, back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah, but I mean, it's definitely a great movie. I feel like, it got so much hype because the music is so good. And I feel like it was a easy gateway into K-pop for people who hadn't listened to anything K-pop before. Because like Caitlin listens to a good bit of K-pop and like, it's all pretty dang good. But like, I think if you hadn't heard it before, you're like, oh, dang, this is really good. Like,
Yeah, for sure. I think that it's a good gateway. Yeah, I was initially turned off by like the
How did you
name.
get
I'm
turned
like-
on, Will?
No, I was initially turned off by the name, like K-pop Demon Hunters. It just sounds like that's the cringiest thing to ever exist.
Yeah.
And then
What
I
are
had
you?
like a mental
Yeah.
picture, completely different of like what it was going to be like. I thought it was going to be like that. You know how the modern animation is like really bad in comparison to, the cartoons we grew up with or whatever. So I was like, I just had it looked really bad in my head. And then my daughter was like, she watched it and she was like, do you want to watch it? She was like, I think you might think it's cringe. Like, she wasn't even sure if I would like it. But I mean, first 5 minutes, me and my wife, we were locked in. Like, it was good. So yeah. And I think that's my favorite part about it, is that it came out of nowhere. Like, it didn't have a big marketing push. It didn't have a big hype. It showed up on Netflix. You're like, this is the worst name ever. What is this? Then you click it and it was a quality film. And I think that's why no one told you it was good. You had to figure it out on your own. I think that was like the reason why I got so popular.
Nice, like a band that you found. Yeah.
yeah, it'd be like naming a movie, this movie sucks. And like, people would be like, well, does it? I got to see now. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Worst movie ever. I would actually, if
steal
I
this
seen no
album.
trailer, exactly. If I seen nothing about it and I seen that title, I would have to click and check it out.
yeah, for sure.
I heard the person that wrote a lot of the songs and that sang in it got kicked out of this music school that they were in. So it's like apparently there's like really competitive K-pop music schools, and this person got kicked out for whatever reason for not performing well or not doing well. Apparently it sent them into this state of payback or whatever. And they just wrote all these songs and performed them and kicked a bunch of ass, and all of a sudden now they're just probably like, in your face. They're just going around. It's like, you kicked me out and now I have a trophy. You know, like, what are you gonna... You were wrong and you were wrong and you were wrong.
Yes, spike driven song development. I like it.
Yeah.
Kind of works. I got told that I wasn't going to go to Stanford in high school, and I was like, screw you, man, I'm totally going to go. And I didn't go, but whatever. I tried for like a year just to piss that guy off. He was right, though.
Yeah, that is how it goes. Just try to do what people say you can't do.
Robbie, why did you write Moana looks like useEffect?
No, I found it on Will's Twitter. I don't remember. It was something like, this Moana live action movie looks like useEffect or something.
Dude,
I was like,
tell me more.
Oh,
That's amazing.
Okay. Oh man, that's funny. So the lore behind that. So I don't know if y'all know, like it's mainly a sports thing. It's mainly a sports Twitter thing. So, you know, if a player is bad, they'll say that they're ass, right? They're like, oh, whatever is ass or whatever. So now when something is bad or ass, they'll say like a song. They'll be like, oh man, this song is Dak Prescott. Like, so that's kind of like how they do it. So I seen that in the Moana live action looks bad, and everybody's been talking so much trash on useEffect. So that's what I'm saying, like, useEffect is ass. So I'm like, that this looks like useEffect. So that was, I know nobody would knew what it meant, but I just wanted to say it anyway. So that's where that came from.
nice.
That's a great use of Twitter, is to say something that's like, I don't think anyone else is going to know. And you know what? I don't give a shit. I'm going to say it anyway. It's just like vague proclamations. You're like, no context. Here's a few words. Figure it out. I love it, dude.
Yeah. Now that I know the explanation, I really like that. But yeah, I did not understand.
It's like when I came back from Japan, and I was like, eating fruits and vegetables as they come out of the earth is like using the web platform. Eating a meal that got ground up and bashed up and powdered up and then reformed into a poof, and then you put a bunch of preserves and a bunch of more stuff that you had to shove more stuff into it, and then you have this basically mishmash thing that you eat. That's React. And it's like, Americans eat like React. In Japan, they eat like the web platform. And your statement there reminds me a lot of that, where you're like, I'm going to extrapolate this weird thing into this completely other unrelated weird thing because my brain is weird, and I'm going to share it. It's awesome.
Speaking of, mashed up preservatives, I saw your tweet about sugar-free Oreos, or your retweet of their ingredients or whatever. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Just give me the sugar, man. What did I gotta see? What did I respond? Because I know I
just
said
have some
something.
emojis.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because it's like, we're removing the sugar. Like, first of all, I don't have the tweet up because my computer's going really slow. I mean, I can look on my phone. But two of the ingredients end in like a sugar word, like dextrose and whatever. So like, bro, it's still sugar. Yeah, it was like sucralose, polydextrose. That's still sugar. Like, it's not table sugar, but it's still sugar. And then just give me the sugar. Like, maltitol, polydextrose, sucralose, and Ace K have replaced sugar. Bro, just give me the sugar, man. Like, we're like...
Okay, so you're saying Oreos are a React component. That's what I'm hearing right now, because it's not really food. It's just all the weird stuff. It turned into something that I'm going to give you to eat, but I love Oreos, though.
Exactly.
Give me back a component did mount. I don't need hooks.
I mean, I remember I said something similar to that. Like, no, it was like it was like on a Twitter space, and I was like, dude, just give me jQuery back. And like the whole like chat went silent. But I mean,
you just lost so much followers.
It was more like straightforward to use.
It sure was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I have my own modern version called Bling Bling. Oh, go ahead, Robbie.
Nice. Yeah, I used to use Ken Wheeler's Cache. I thought that was pretty good.
Okay, that's why I had Bling Bling. So there was Cache, there was Bling.js, And then I had Bling Bling JS because I went all ES6, and I had this really tiny, it was like 9 lines of JavaScript that recreated like the core parts of jQuery. I thought it was so cool, and it was fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
You should resurrect it, man. It can be the next K-pop Demon Hunters in the web dev world.
Still alive. Bling Bling
Yeah, there you go.
JS.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we went too far in like the way front end works now. Sometimes there's a use case for really intense frameworks, but like the Astro model of it's all vanilla JavaScript, CSS, HTML, and then when you need complex stuff, you have maybe one little component that has like some of that in it. But now we're just like, oh yeah, I gotta like have a router or a route, and it's like, oh, that's definitely a component. Like, actually, it's not a component because it's a router. So it's like, I don't know, trying to fit everything into components and being like, it all has to be like, oh, it can also render on the server or the client or both, or who knows where you are, is like, maybe we went too far.
Yeah, it's like, you want to cover, I think that really comes with just like covering as many use cases as possible, because, it's going to be a wide range of people using the product. So like it, or the framework or whatever. So like it makes sense. But then people see that and think that that's how they should, do it from the jump, you know what I mean? And then it continues to get, over-engineered, and you're adding this and you're adding that when you didn't really need all of that.
What's the best engineered thing you've ever seen or used where you were like, this is just the right amount?
Oh, man.
Auth 0. Wow, what a great answer. I can't believe you said that.
For me though, it was Rails, man. I remember when I used Rails, I was like, dude, I can start a business with this. Like, it was so cool. It was like so easy to understand. And Laravel's kind of the same. Like, I haven't used it a lot, but I've dabbled in Laravel, and it kind of has like the same experience. But Rails, I used that when I worked at Egghead, and I thought that was like, for me personally, a great developer experience. I could grok anything about it that I need to in a fairly short amount of time. And I could look at other people's code bases and kind of know what to do and where to go. So I really enjoyed the Rails experience.
Do you have to manage any of the integrations for Auth0? Like sometimes DevRel have to do either bug fixes or patches or releases or something like that. Or are you involved very much in the interfaces that go into these frameworks, or you're...
No, not on our team. So like we're separated into like different ways of DevRel because, we're a big enough org. So like I'm specifically content, videos, podcasts, blogs, stuff like that. We have a team that's community focused where they go out and do events and they throw events and stuff like that. And then we have like another that does like that stuff, like works on the SDKs, and sometimes we'll help out with docs and stuff like that. But yeah, in my particular role, I don't work on the SDKs or anything. Main thing I do is like give the feedback back when I'm out, because people are, in my inbox, are like, hey, this isn't working here. And honestly, it's been some pretty cool stuff coming in my inbox, like things not working that we didn't even like know about. So it's been kind of cool to be out there like that and, be able to hear from the community and fix things because, they're hacking on stuff and trying stuff. And so I get to, see like, what are people doing? How are they making this work? And it'd be like, well, it shouldn't work like that. Let me see. Why are you having to make this hack? Or, why are you running into this? Because it shouldn't work that way. So that's been kind of cool. We've fixed a lot of things just from people being in my DMs, either complaining or just showing me stuff. And they didn't even know that it was a hack. They were just doing it. And I'm like, oh, that shouldn't happen. Let's get that fixed.
Yeah, you don't want hacks in your authentication. If you want them anywhere, that's not the place.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm glad that I get to be available out there like that, though, so that people can feel like, they got someone they can talk to when they're having an issue. So that's like one thing I do enjoy about the DevRel role.
You've been there long enough. What's your like really tight pitch that you have when you're like, oh yeah, I can pitch Auth0 1 or 2 sentences and make it sound good?
Make it about 60 seconds and then tell us where to send the invoice to.
I mean, I can tell you where to send the invoice to. Yeah, Auth0 is the authentication and authorization platform for developers. anything that you need to do with authentication and authorization, whether that's connecting social logins, securing AI agents, we handle it with our SDK so you don't have to. So you can get back to doing the fun stuff you like programmatically hiding stuff with CSS.
Well done. On the fly integration with my preferences. Nice. That's good stuff. I really like Passkeys. Do Passkeys work?
Yeah, Passkeys work, and our integration with it is pretty simple. Like it's just a click of a button in the dashboard, and you got Passkeys. There's like someone on Twitter who has like a brigade against Passkeys. So it's like anytime we post something on Passkeys, they're like right there talking about how bad it is. It's been like, and the consistency is insane. Like I would like to be dedicated to a mission like that, like, as intensely as that.
I don't understand how Passkeys work really, because it's supposed to be more secure, but like it's way easier. I can just like save it in my 1Password and log in with that passkey on like any device, which I think kind of breaks the way it was supposed to work. But
1Password can emulate a passkey?
Yes. Yeah, you can save it there and use it on every device, which is dope. So like it seems like, you know, it'd be against the ethos of how it was supposed to work. Of like you're supposed to have another device and it's supposed to like use biometrics of some kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, nope, you can biometric into 1Password and that counts, I guess. And then you just say use it and it just works.
That makes sense. So you still have to bio into 1Password in order to get there. Okay, so there's still a bio check. There's still like something kind of still fingerprinting you in a way that's like pretty physical. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but like
it's a little less concerning.
Yeah.
You know, it's a public and private key pair. So like the private key is stored on the device, or I guess in 1Password. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not familiar with how 1Password does it, but if they store it there, then like no one should have access to that. Just like if it's stored on the device, no one would have access to that, like, you know, from the web. And so they check against each other, and then if it matches, and then that's why it gets you in. So as long as no one has the private key that's stored like on device, then you shouldn't have any issues. But I get why it seems like, because it's not just the passkey. If it was just the passkey by itself, just out floating on the internet, I understand why that would be concerning, but it has to have that match in order for it to let you in.
Yeah, makes sense. It just feels too easy. When stuff is easy to log into, I'm like, that don't feel right.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I think even me, like before I started working at Auth0 and I didn't know how it worked, I was kind of like the same way. I was like, oh, I'm never using my Face ID or fingerprint. But now, like, I like use it for every, like, now that I know like how it works and what it does, then like I don't, you know, I have no issues.
Yeah, auth is so weird. It's still mostly unsolved. We have more services and more options, but we're not necessarily in a scenario where it's impenetrable. People can still lose stuff. They still ask people to store backups on their computer, and like it's like basically a sticky note you stick in your hard drive.
Yeah,
like, that's more secure. Here, keep this sticky note in your hard drive. I'm like, okay, that's totally not recognizable by CLI if it wanted to crawl through. But funny, I mean, it's kind of nice though that they're all out there. You do trust a SaaS service for your authentication because there's just too many considerations. It's kind of like your CSS. You just trust specialists is kind of the deal at the end of the day, right? There's too much niche information these days. Computers feel simple only because specialists have made all of those things feel that way. We're in a very pampered scenario a lot of times, and auth is one of those scenarios. Auth0 just pampering devs. There you go. It's Pampers for devs. Auth Pampers.
Yeah, exactly. Soft, cloudy Pampers.
For diapers for your login.
But yeah, and that's kind of like the fun about it too. Like, you know, I've been here, you know, for 4 years and seen so many different iterations of like, you know, Passkeys was like a big thing. And then, you know, when like there was the whole Web3 thing going on and like using web wallets to like log in for a long time, people, that was going to be like the way people like log in. That was like a big thing. I know people say auth, and it usually means like authentication, like by itself. But then there's like the authorization part, you know, of like permissions and what they're like allowed to do. And that's like, you know, ever evolving. So it's kind of been, you know, interesting to see like that change, like going from like role-based authentication, then relationship-based authentication, or authorization, my bad. Even I get them confused sometimes. But yeah, like going from that, and then like there's things like FGA, like we have Auth0 FGA that's based off of like the Google Zanzibar. So that's like fine-grained authorization when you think of like Google Drive, and does the team have access? If Will is Adam's manager, does Adam get access to this document instead of giving like everybody their own things and stuff like that? So that's also been like interesting to see that, like you said, it hasn't been solved yet because there's so many things to consider. There's more and more users every day. There's more and more people attacking every day. So it's been like an exciting space to be in, just to kind of watch all this evolution and still like not know like what's going to be the winner, right? Like even, I still don't know who's going to, like, in none of these things, I don't know what's going to be the off winner, because yeah, Passkeys is hot, but it might be something else that come out 2 years from now. So it's been fun.
Yeah, always evolving.
Yep, you make authentication sound cool, but you're right. It's not. it's not done, and even permissions are still not solved. Like that's one of the hardest things. You go into AWS, you go into Google Cloud Services, even you go into Netlify, you go into your Google Doc, and you're like, who has access to this? I was just showing my kids this the other day, and they're making a Google Doc to make their own Pokemon cards. I'm like, hey, you do data entry, you define the Pokemon name, the HP, its moves, and all that stuff. I'll make you a card. And so then they go in there, and I'm like, they got a couple cards ready, and got to share. It's just that stuff is so complex to them. They're just like, what is going on with permission models? Like, why do you need access to my thing? And I'm like, you should give me limited access too. It's so funny.
Yeah, I think like the Google stuff's kind of like the best way to teach someone like that, because it has so many like different options, and it kind of, shows you just how granular it can be.
Yeah, what would you like to plug, Will? What do you got going on? Auth0, I guess, but like, where can the people find you? Yeah, what do you want to mention before we end?
I mean, you can find me on Twitter at WillJohnsonIO. I joined that thing, the name waitlist thing, because I want to get the IO taken off, so it can just be Will Johnson. The other Will Johnson hasn't used Twitter in like 8 years. So wish me luck on getting into but for Will Johnson. But for now, it's Will Johnson IO. And something I like to plug, I mean, definitely the Auth0 AI stuff. So we just launched into like general availability, the Auth0 for AI agents. You can get that at auth0.com/AI. And it's basically authenticating your agents, giving them the proper permissions to access things, storing like your tokens and API keys, so you're not giving them to the AI agents yourself, which I've seen people do. So please don't do that. Use Token Vault and, save those somewhere securely, and, let the exchange happen with Auth0 so you're not liable. And also we have like a notification system. So if you want your agent to do like a sensitive action, it can alert you, whether email, phone call, a text notification, like whatever you choose, for you can actually approve it before it takes that action. So yeah, you can check out all that stuff. We got quick starts, docs, sample apps, all of that at auth0.com/AI.
Nice. I have one final question. Is AI user, or are AI users, are they users? You gave them permissions, but how do you put that in the database? Because they're not people. They're just, I guess they're an account. I don't know. Seems weird that now we have AI logging in and doing all these things.
They're
you can call them
sentient.
agents. Yeah, you can't see them. They can never ask for stuff. Like, are they a primary amount? Like in your analytics, are there more agents signing up every day than people? Is that like a thing that even happens?
I don't think there's more agents signing up than people, but I feel like a lot of people are using agents and kind of letting them do stuff. So that's kind of why we came up with the Auth0 for AI agents, just to kind of rein it in. It'll get assigned, an identity and everything like that. So that's how like gets kept track of, and how the permissions get, the guardrails get put on it and everything like that.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Makes
that
sense.
sounds
All right.
smart. I'm sure a lot of people were just giving it like they made their own account and gave it their credentials, and like, oopsie, it broke some stuff. So yeah, that sounds sounds better.
Yeah, that's pretty much what was happening. I mean, I even seen like conversations on Reddit, and someone was like, "Are you guys just giving your API keys to the agent?" And it was like hundreds of replies, and most of them were like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, those are some trusting people. That was not a great idea.
YOLO mode plus API keys equals some other kind of mode that is not just YOLO anymore.
Yeah, beyond YOLO. Upside down YOLO.
Nice. The stranger YOLO.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, we're about at time here. Thanks, Will, for coming on. Thanks, everyone, for listening. If you liked it, please subscribe. Leave us some ratings and reviews. We appreciate it. And we will catch you next time.
You've been watching Whiskey Web and Whatnot, recorded in front of a live studio audience.
What the fuck are you talking about, Chuck?
Enjoyed the show? Subscribe.
You know people don't pay attention to these, right?
Head to whiskey.fun for merch and to join our Discord server.
I'm serious. It's like 2% of people who actually click these links.
And don't forget to leave us a 5-star review and tell your friends about the show.
All right, dude, I'm out of here.
Still got it.